ipXers, welcome to Amsterdam. Now, don't act up because we're here for the Things Conference. We walked past Quallinx booth and read a big claim. They're redefining the connected edge. I spent the morning with them recording and chatting just to learn more about their flavor of location module. They make a GNSS and IoT node and they claim it's power optimized and reconfigurable. Now, what do both of those things mean? I think it'd be best if we ask them ourselves. In today's day, it is not enough just to have a location chip. So what is it exactly that makes the Quallinx one special?
Well, our solution comes with a GNSS and IoT tracking device, which is both very small and also very energy efficient. That's the value proposition that we bring to the table.
Because I've read on your website, before I came here to speak to you, you claim it's the world's most power efficient location chip.
Indeed.
How have you got, okay, actually for one, where have these efficiencies been made?
Okay.
Has it been in the run state or have you just got something that can sleep really well?
Okay, so the changes that we have is mainly on our internal architecture of our chip. So a lot of GNSS solutions, they have analog design and that's not as efficient as it could be. So if we look here at the general structure of an analog front end, those building blocks here, like the ADPLL, the filter and the variable gain, instead of designing them on an analog manner, which is static and limited to a bandwidth specifically, we do a digital design, which is reconfigurable. It is very power efficient and is also flexible for whatever bandwidth, whatever gain you need, all in the same chip. So you don't need to do hardware reworking or any kind of that. If you change your application, for instance, we have on different bandwidths, we have L1, we have E5, we also have sub-GHz and 2.4 GHz as well for IoT.
So in a way, your power savings have actually been like loss cutting, that's right? You say, maybe I'll scooch around in here and have a point myself.
Yeah.
You're saying there's losses in your LNA.
Yeah.
There's losses when it comes to mixing.
Indeed.
There's losses when you're filtering. There's losses at your gain stage.
Yeah.
And whatever comes after this as well.
Yeah.
This is where these power savings have been made, is because we haven't gotten all this. Okay, so what is DRF? That's another thing that I've seen on your website.
Yeah, so the DRF is this idea, this concept of doing the radio frequency on the digital domain. So the digital RF is the name or the idea of the technology, and the trademark is the Dragonfly. So if you see Quallinx, Dragonfly is referring to the idea of, instead of designing stuff analog, we design stuff digital. And that's also very nice because it allows you to shift the chip as you like it. So for instance, you can see here on our demo that the chip wakes up once, logs into satellite data, gets the information that it needs, and it turns off completely, going to very low power consumption. And that flexibility that's only possible on digital domain, that's where we leverage our power and our claims.
This must be a very fast device if it's able to understand and manipulate the signals coming from GPS, GNSS satellites and use that in the digital domain. Is a very technical question.
Yeah.
This whole situation here, when I think about this, I think about digital filtering, FIR filters implemented on FPGAs and such. Is it actually an analog signal that traverses all the way through the system? Or at the start, is it turned into binary and then binarized?
That's a very good question, because that's that's one of the main differences from our competitors. So if we look at the pipeline, what we do, we transform from analog to digital earlier in the pipeline than usual applications. And that's where we leverage our thing, because of the fabrication process and how we design internally, the topology of our filters, if you may say, the topology of our ADPLL, we transform it digital and then we make it faster because of the digital thing.
How interesting is that? Mate, you're an absolute expert, but I've got another expert waiting in the wings. So please can we bring in Mark to finish this off? Okay, so we've learned more about the technical side of this. At this point, I would like the engineers to understand why, or maybe not why, but what. What applications you sort of see this fitting into? I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, oh, look, it's a location chip, but why is it so important to have it so low power? Does that open up some whole new applications?
It does. So low power for GNSS is like the Holy Grail. The lower power means...
The Holy Grail.
Indeed. A lower power means that instead of having a tracker that works for a month, to have a tracker that works for a year or maybe 2 years. That means lower cost of ownership because you don't have to take out the battery, put in a new one. So that's why it's important to have that low power consumption in things like trackers, for livestock management, but also for better positioning. And low power is just one of the advantages. You've heard Arthur talk about another advantage, which is the reconfigurability. Well, think about the advantages that that's going to deliver to you when you're in an urban environment and you can quickly change from one band to another. So you're less bothered by multipath interference, for instance, or think about the advantages that the architecture is giving you in flexibly notching out frequencies which are jammed. That's what the advantages are of the DRF technology. So better protection against spoofing, lower power consumption, you name it. There's applications for all of it.
I know we said we weren't going to go too technical, and then we're talking about multipath effects. I'd like to know one metric that I think will help some engineers.
Okay.
What sort of power saving are we actually getting in terms of, say, an average chip that is doing the same functionality as the Quallinx IC?
Yeah.
How many microamps quiescent current versus this? What sort of differences am I expecting?
Okay, so in terms of power consumption, we had a visitor today on site saying, well, I have this 14 milliwatts average consumption GNSS chip. Ours is promising 1 milliwatt. So that's the order of magnitude. An order of magnitude.
Fantastic. In terms of the future, how old is the company?
It's about 10 years now.
10 years old.
Yeah.
What's happening in the next 5? Where are we going after this?
So the next 5, you're going to see that we're going to get the products first out in the market. Then second, we're going to add indoor positioning, totally different technology. That will be a first to market for outdoor and indoor positioning. And even further out, maybe there's something to be done about low Earth orbit positioning, making the entire system a lot more robust. So wherever you go, wherever you are, under all circumstances, you'll have your position.
Right, let's summarize what's going on here. Now, number 1, this module has better resistance to interference. This is because the RF front end of this module is reconfigurable. That means you aren't limited to one communication band. Should one band be overcrowded, or in that band you're struggling from multipath effects and it's making it hard to hear, or for whatever reason you have other interference, this module can keep the connection strong by swapping between bands. 2, we have huge improvements in power consumption, orders of magnitude lower than similarly performing modules. This is because of its DRF section, or digital RF, where instead of nurturing an analog signal throughout the RF chain, it's digitized all the way over here, earlier in that section, and that is much earlier than legacy solutions, which comes with power savings. 3, you have a reduced size. The modules that came before this one, 25 millimeters squared. This one, 7.5 millimeters squared. Very important if this goes into a wearable, and trust me, size does matter. Late 2025 is when you can get your hands on this module. Their website is quallinx.io if you want to check them out. Until next time, stay disruptive.